Hi, my name is Priscilla Yue and I'm from Bachelor of Mass Comm. This is my second year in a university and this is my semester 4.5. So about this module, I find it really interesting because we get to come together as one team and go out there to do volunteering work together. Because from my past experience, I've actually volunteered, but it's on my own or actually doing it with my family only. So I did not have the chance to have a team to go to the volunteering place together. So this module gave me an opportunity for it. And for the TGCs that I can strongly apply in my life for now, is how this module helped me have lifelong learning. Because throughout this module, throughout all the visitations and all, I've actually observed a lot, especially on how the visitor visit the old folks home and how they behave, how I do not actually like the way they behave and how I do not want to be like them. So yeah, all those are actually part of learning and let me see through humanity, see through how people are disrespecting the old people there. And I also learned how elderlies actually live together. They do not fight, they do not quarrel and all, they live in harmony. That's a thing that we learn as well. Other than that, the second TGCs is actually the thinking and problem solving skills. So for thinking and problem solving skills, we had actually quite a number of experience throughout this module because in the planning stage, we actually emailed a few orphanage but got rejected, and I personally got scolded through a phone call as well, but that was my mistake because I did not do a good research on the orphanage background, or some even not it's not even an orphanage, so I got scolded for it because it says that it's not an orphanage, it's there to save orphans. So yes, that's my mistake and I learned through that. And also we actually have sudden problems when we arrive at the center because we did not picture how big the place was and we did not actually thought they have two different places with the same name and they go under the same person in charge as well. So we had to improvise, leave some of them in each place to clean up and the other and some of us go out to buy more decoration because of Chinese New Year. So we did cleaning, we did decorations and all, and it went smoothly as well after that sudden commotion. And then we learned about the next TGC, which is interpersonal and communication skill. So we learned how to actually communicate with the elderlies, how to respect them and not belittle them, and within our group as well, we learn how to communicate with each other through our meetings as well. Other than that, we also have intrapersonal skill that I actually picked up because through observation, I have a lot of like reflection going around in my head. I had to think a lot, had to reflect a lot. So the first thing that I reflect on is humanity because I feel like I'm really sad because all those old folks, elderlies in the old folks home, they actually have a family but they are abandoned there, and it makes me think how humans are cruel sometimes and how some people are not respectful for the elderly. So I learned how to be like respectful to them, and also how I am very grateful how I'm very, very lucky to have my parents to help me grow in such a good place. So I think learning to look at the world in a different perspective is very important, because through this I've actually observed and seen many things, and there is a community that needs our help, and we can do anything that we can to help them, even it's just staying there, accompanying them and talking to them. They feel happy and grateful just for that. So I think it's up to us to think about it and do something about it. So be grateful and love our parents. Don't leave them in old folks home like that. Even if you do pay them or actually check up on them constantly. So that's it for my reflective. Thank you.
My name is YeeZhing and I'm from Bachelor of Mass Communication, and my groupmates and I have decided to visit YeeZhing for Folks Home in USJ for our community service initiative project, and so here's our group reflection video. The community service initiative is definitely one of the most interesting modules that I've taken for my degree program, because while working with others for this module, I feel like it has enabled me to further develop my communication skill as well as skills such as listening to others and empathy. And furthermore, working with others on this project has made the experience more enjoyable, because the motivation and encouragement we provided to each other, it was very invaluable. I feel like I've learned a lot from them as professionals, and sharing ideas and thoughts about many different issues, and like seeing different perspectives and encouraging me to develop my own thinking. The community service shows me that how much of an NGO like this needs the help of people in order to make it run smoothly, and I'm thankful that I was able to be part of it and give a helping hand. It is one of the most significant and meaningful events throughout my degree program too. The different style of learning coupled with the reflection has allowed me to look closer at myself, and it makes me feel like I appreciate more towards life now, towards everything that I was given by my parents. And community service basically has made me realize what's more important. I found out that community service helps me to understand a lot of things, because when you work on a team, you communicate with each other, and this communication could change a lot in your life. And the community service module offer students opportunity to connect in classroom learning with real life experience with the community, and this is done through both curricular and co-curricular programs and projects with the community partners. CSI is definitely different from traditional volunteer work and experience education, in that the focus is not only learning but also service, and the beneficiary is not only the students but also the organization served. The goal is to educate students about their roles and as engaged citizens in their community. And for this project, I feel like we share many laughs and stories while we worked. It was satisfying to help improve these people's life, because this kind of experiential learning, or applying what we have learned in the classroom to the real world, has a lot of positive benefits for students, and also from meeting a requirement for a graduate. I feel like this has give us students the opportunity to learn more about our personal strength and weakness, because when you work on a campaign or a project and you get to see these real life results, you get to know your personal attributes and action, and you can know how to make a difference. And many of these qualities are things that students can't get good feedback on in the classroom, which makes this experiential learning very meaningful. And for example, students may learn that they have excellent skills in coping with a crisis or other stressful situation, or may learn that find taking charge of a team to be a struggle. And this kind of exposure in different situations can teach students how to further develop skills that they already have and how to work on areas they are struggling in. Lastly, I feel like engaging in the community service also allows us to give us the opportunity to become an active member of the community, and allows us to give a positive impact on the society at large. And basically, community service or volunteering in any NGO enables students to acquire life skills and knowledge, and as well as provide a service to those who needs it most. And this is for my reflection, and thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Khor Zi Zi, and I'm a Taylor student who currently taking community service in my second year, 4.5 semester, and I'm majoring in advertising. So today I'm going to present my own reflection of doing community service throughout this semester. Doing community service is not only benefits people who need the most in the society, but also makes me feel more valuable, cherished, and thankful. So after day of discussion, me and my groupmate decided to visit YeeZhing Old Folks House, which located in USJ 7, Subang Jaya, which means quite near to Taylor's. There is a total 3 times of visiting to YeeZhing Old Folks House, which is on 17th of January, 31st of January, and the 9th of February. YeeZhing Old Folks House is a non-profit organization, which means NPO, that provides shelter, support, and taking care of destitute old folks. We have bought many kind of goods which is on their wish list that they post on Facebook, such as cooking oil, toilet paper, canned food, etc. for the first time. Besides, we also bring some Chinese New Year decoration for them as a blessing, as wish them a happy Chinese New Year. We help the maid there with lunch by feeding those old folks who can't really take care of themselves. So we kindly fed them and washed the dishes, that kind of thing. So for the second time of visit, we also bring along with the goods that we purchased for YeeZhing Old Folks House. But in this time visitation, Mr. Steven have shared a lot of experience of his charity life over the years, and also told us about the story of everybody in this old folks home. And we do realize people who live in here mostly involving elderly psychosis problem people who sent from Kuala Lumpur Hospital, which means the Kuala Lumpur General Hospital. To the final and yet the 3rd time of visit to YeeZhing Old Folks House, we did not bring good as usual, but we transferred the money that we have raised it to Mr. Steven, the Dean. And this time, all of us decided to have a long chat with each old ox to listen to what is their needs and try to make them feel warm for the moment. Every time when we walk in the house, Mr. Steven will always standing there to welcome us, which is really warm me. And in my own opinion, it was a awesome and unforgettable experience that we have a chance to visit YeeZhing Old Folks House, especially with my friend instead of my family members. So after 3 times of visiting, through all the communication and conversation with the dean and the old folks there, I realized that most of them do have a family, but no one else is taking their responsibility to take care of their parents, but the old folks house do. So for the biggest reflection of myself is, as all of us being a child of our parents, we should know what responsibility is being a child. So love your family, love people around us without judging them as they have their own difficulty story in their life. Besides, as a young people, we should visit this NPO often in order to contribute to the society. So I was happy to be there, and I was happy to join this community service with my friends, and I would like to thanks to my group mates and also Mr. Steven that provide us a chance to visit there, and it allowed us to learn many things of love.
Hi, my name is CK and I'm majoring in Bachelor of Mass Communication, specializing in advertising. I am currently in my second year, semester 4.5, and at Taylor's University, and is currently taking the module Community Service as my MPU subject. When we talk about community service, this made me think that it is about volunteering as well as helping people who in needs, helping people in need. And yeah, it actually made me feel with excitement and anticipation about it. I had always been interested in helping out in the community, but did not have the chance to do so. Therefore, I was actually very eager to learn and also apply what I had learned when I was in primary and secondary school. As I expected, it was a very, very beneficial experience for me, and it has shown me a clearer view of what is happening around the world, and also it had given me a better idea of who am I. By supporting community causes, it helps me to showcase my ability to work as a team, solve problems as well as taking the responsibility. Considering that I need to take this community service as a compulsory subject, it had actually given me a chance to help the poverty as well as people with disabilities. Like during the discussion, we were supposed to visit the orphanage at first, but due to the upcoming Chinese New Year festival, most of the orphanage that we had contacted were busy in preparing for the festival. So instead, we went to an old folks home near Subang. Before actually going to that place, we planned out what we were going to do during the visitation, and also decided to get some necessities such as toiletries, canned food, oil, rice, diapers and stuff, and more. And of course, we got the money through the donation from asking our relative and friends. My group and I visited an old folks home at Subang Jaya named YeeZhing USJ Old Folks Home. The place has a total of 19 elderly people, including the dean, and when they saw us, they were very welcome and showing a smile and appreciation on their face. As mentioned just now, we brought those necessities along with us to improve the living condition of the old folks home during the first and the second visit. Because of the Chinese New Year festival that I had mentioned just now, We also got some decorations to decorate the place to gives a more lively atmosphere for the elderlies. We brought lanterns, couplets, and some spring festivals and some paper cutting stuff to decorate it. And while doing it, while we were doing our community service, there were people from different organizations and also university students who came to visit the old folks home, and some of them gave out ang paos. We also did prepare some ang paos, which Jess mom company decided to give ang pao to those elderlies. They were very, very grateful for it. When we go there the first visitation, we didn't know that there was 2 houses, so we had only like limited decorations that can only decorate for one place, one of the houses. So a few of us went, so we decided to split by few of us going out to get more decorations, and the others stay back to help clean up the house by sweeping the floor, wiping the chairs and tables, and also the windows. Yeah, we spend most of our time accompanying them by listening and talking to them, getting to know better as they share their story with us. Funny story though, in our group, Denise and I are the only one that are not fluent in Cantonese language, which unfortunately it was the elderly's first language. Yeah, but even with the communication barrier, we still try our very best to communicate with them by using our body language as well as the basic skill of the language that we know to like communicate with them. Although it wasn't very perfect, we still managed to let them feel a bit more comfortable in approaching us and talking to us. Yeah. Oh, we also like sat down and talked to the dean, Mr. Steven, who is in charge of the taking care of the house. Yeah, the place. Yeah, he shared each of the elderly stories on how they ended up at the old folks home and why and the reason behind it. Most of them were like transfer from the hospital because of financial situation, or some of them were abandoned because and that actually made them continue their life at the YeeZhing old folks home. Yeah, when we heard the story, we were very, very sad for them and like felt pitiful while trying to understand the pain and struggle they have been through, how their children didn't want to take care of them. I personally don't understand how a person could treat their parents like that, as they are the one that actually took care of us since we were born, with their care and love and like everything they put it all to us lah. Yeah. To sum up my experience, I'm very glad that I get the opportunity to volunteer at the old folks home. I felt more engaged by being part of the community, as I also didn't expect our presence when visiting the old folks home, and I was amazed by how appreciative they have after our visit. I learned that the rewards of volunteering are a two-way street. You'll be surprised on how much you'll get back, whether it's a new outlook or a warm smile. Yeah, it made me realize that even small effort done by an individual is able to make a difference in someone's life, even by a simple stranger. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wong Shen Hua, currently taking the Community Service module at my Year 2 4.5 semester. I've actually been doing community service with my mom for the past few years. However, this is the first time I'm doing it with my friends, which is quite exciting and meaningful. Community service initiative allows us to imply the ethics and morals of service towards our community. As the citizens of Malaysia, it is an important value to help other individuals when you have the ability or chance, and serve as a growth of our community. The Community Service Initiative models gives us the opportunity to apply what we have learned since our primary to secondary high schooling years, which gives us a thorough experience on how to deal with real life everyday issues that are being faced by the everyday community. It orders to help us develop a positive habit and pattern to serve and help the community and one another. This is not only applicable on our society, but everywhere else around the world. This module gave us the opportunity to help the poverty and disabled individuals. I've acknowledged that there's a lot we can do to repay and help the society and community. As a part of the community, there are a lot we can do with our own capabilities, no matter by strength in going to help and visit them or donating. It is the tiniest thing we can do for them. Also, it gives us the opportunity to understand and help those that are in need: animals, orphans, old folks, and more. We should help others who are in need and be sympathetic towards them. Community service is to learn to give and not receive anything in return. Community service also helps us students increase our social awareness and responsibilities, which focuses on interacting with others and the natural world in caring and respecting ways. It helps us develop healthy relationships and compassion towards others and their perspective. Volunteering helps students enhance their personal knowledge, grow from new experience, and develop better interpersonal communication skills. After realizing the difficulties of the orphanage, old folks' home, and each individual, we are indeed grateful for what we have and surrounded by. Some things that are in reach for us are hard to get for others. In Malaysia, we face a lot of social issues, although we are not surrounded or aware of it. Social issues such as homelessness, animal shelter, soup kitchen, and so. These are only a small part of issues that the community face. As part of the Community Service Initiative module that I have taken in Taylor's University with my group mates, we have decided to help one of the specific social issues that are most commonly seen, which is the old folks' home, YeeZhing Charity Welfare Center. My group members and I have decided to carry out our community service initiative at YeeZhing Old Folks Home, located at USJ Subang Jaya. On our visits at the old folks' home, we brought them food and daily necessities like canned food, toothbrush, detergent, and so. On our first visit, which is before Chinese New Year, we decided to decorate the place a little festive to welcome Chinese New Year. We brought Chinese lanterns, poetic couplets, trinkets, and so. During our visits, there are visitors from organizations and universities as well. They also bring them daily necessities like food and also gave them ang pao. We spend most of the time there accompanying them. We talk to them for hours and gain a lot from those talks and conversations. The old folks are very sincere and conversable. We got to know the stories from their time when there's no technology involved. It is pure communication and connection between humans. They share their experience and thoughts with wisdom that definitely keeps in our pocket. We get to know more about each of them through Dean Stephen. He told us about their stories and why they came here. Most of them are transferred from the central hospital and continued their life at YeeZhing Old Folks Home. We felt pitiful for them as some of them have children but are not willing to take care of them. Even after being sent to the old folks' home, some elderly still think about their child all the time. However, the child did not even spend some time to visit them. Actions like this are not in accordance with filial and ethics. Every parent raises their child with hard work, care, and love. People should not abandon their parents that raised them up and become a healthy adult. YeeZhing Old Folks Home provides accommodation, food, and looks after the elderly without any payments. All it takes to keep them operating are the donations from well-wishers and organizations. They are open for donations and do help a little within reach. In conclusion, I felt more engaged with the community and being a part of it. Participating in community service not only helps the others but also evaluates ourselves. The satisfaction of being able to help others makes us feel good in yourself and being a better person. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Denise Quah, and I'm currently taking Bachelor of Mass Communication, and now it's my 4.5 semester, year 3. So I'm very grateful that I have the chance to do community service initiatives, CSI, as my modules because I want to do this community since secondary high school. I've learned a lot of things during doing community service, like ethics, morals, values, that I understand we need to help others in need with our ability and chances if we have the time to go there also. And we need to create a social awareness to our friends, like it's very good thing to do community service. It's a good deeds. And we need to have the responsibility to make others' life better. Like because if we have a good life, we need to let others people to have a good life too. And during do community service, you can gain a lot of new experience. Also, while going to YeeZhing Old Folks Home at GSI Subang Jaya, not GSI, it's USJ. Yeah, so while go there on the first day, we do decoration for Chinese New Year, like let them have the atmosphere to have the Chinese New Year atmosphere. And the old folks home there, they deserve the good love because even they don't have a same amount of love from their daughters and sons. So we need to have the responsibility to make others well too. And we need to know how to give and take. Like doing good deeds is not just about buying stuff and donating and even not promoting. Like not for any purpose. You just go do community service in your heart, like not purpose. So yeah, so while go there, I having a hard time to communicating with them because my Cantonese is not good, and I try to communicating with them with my non-verbal communication, like do happy things and stuff, and also use my very basic Cantonese language to communicate with them. And I think that the language barrier is not a issue. And while do that, I think I learned a lot of interpersonal skill. Like good teamwork need to be contribute all the time. Like we do grosso and all things as a team, as a whole team. And also I listening to the old folks stories. Like actually I gain a lot of knowledge and new experience about others' life. And also this could apply to my life either. And while talking to them, we need to use manners because we need to respect them, like not being rude and not rude to them, you know what I mean? So we need to respect, also we need to respect their personal space. And I learned about the intrapersonal skill, like need to be improved my Cantonese, and this is the very most thing I want to learn now. So also we need to have a compassion to each of them, like not just old folks, even the orphanage or even the poor people. Yeah, also be open-minded, and like they are not seem like they are like they sometimes they seem very rude, but they not look like that. Also for the lifelong learning, I learned that the observation is very important in our life. So I will observe more around me, and also cannot be rude to others as well, because not everyone is very rude. So we need to be kind, we need to be calm, peace, and we need, for my lifelong learning, I think a companion is very important. Like we need to keep with connecting with our friends, our families, because you need to appreciate them while they still here. And collaboration also important, because you cannot work alone, and we need to work with our team as a team, or with others. Like others will give you a recommendation, and others as well. And also the most important thing is for my lifelong learning is the reflection. We need to reflect ourselves, like what we learn in our lives, for everything also, like observe what they did, like maybe we can learn from them. So, and if we have do bad things we didn't even know, and we see others do that, you may whoa, like will change your mindset from doing bad things also. And at the end, in conclusion, I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to do community service initiative. I think every uni or every high school or any places, we need to do community service. So I think I've learned a lot, but I'm not very good at say about how I feel about during community service. So overall, I'm very grateful, and this is a very interesting subject. Yeah, so thank you.
Hello, my name is Jesslyn Yong, student ID 0334206. I am in my final year of university, and I'm currently taking my 4.5 semester. Initially, I had no experience volunteering at an old folks home. I've always volunteered at a pet shelter near my area, so volunteering at YeeZhing old folks home is a new experience for me. I believe the Community Service Initiative module is a good platform to instill a sense of social responsibility in us. It also enables me, as an individual, to understand the community around me and to understand myself in relation to this community. It is a great pleasure to work alongside my teammates and help create memorable memories with the elderly staff. Initially, I was reluctant and worried that I may not perform well as a team member, as I have no experience volunteering at an old folks home. I was worried that I may not be able to communicate well with the elderly there, as I rarely see my own grandparents. However, my concerns began to slowly subside as soon as we started planning and preparing for our visit. We managed to raise some money among ourselves, and it is heartwarming to see the group come together and chip in as much as we can. We bought several necessities for them, such as rice, toilet papers, canned baked beans, cooking oil, and more. During our first visit, I noticed that the elderly were quite hostile to not only us, but to each other as well. Only a few elderly came up to us and initiated conversations with us. I figured this could be because the place is open for visitors 24/7, so they may be used to visitors coming in and out. Although the hostility between them caught me off guard as well. Even when they gathered at the dining table for lunch, they did not talk to one another. I asked the helpers there about it, and apparently some of their children have not been visiting them for a while, and they were just restless because of this. Hence, I tried to make it my mission to get the elderly to talk and mingle together. As we get to know them better, we start to learn about their past experiences and how they got here. Some of the stories make me cry because they have a home and a family, but because of their current financial situation, they ended up at YeeZhing. Some of them were even abandoned by their children and never had anyone visiting them. It breaks my heart to see them in pain, and I was reminded of my grandmother who passed away recently. She passed away the day before my exams, and because I was preparing for it, I did not have the chance to say my last goodbye to her. I'd always use the excuse of being too busy or too tired to talk to her, but now I regretted not spending enough time with her. So seeing the way the elderly talk about their children and how much they miss seeing them, I thought to myself that this may be what my grandmother was feeling before she had passed away. As the time began to pass, the elderly there seemed to have warmed up to us and started opening up to us more. Not to mention, they began to talk to one another more often and is no longer as hostile as before. Overall, I am grateful to have been given this opportunity to spend time with the elderly at YeeZhing. This journey has allowed me to better understand myself as an individual and better understand the community. I was able to reflect on my past actions with my grandmother and grow as a person. I've also learned to be more grateful of my current situation because not everyone is as fortunate as I am. That's it for my presentation for today. Thank you.